beloved soul. If you're hearing this, the angels led you here for a reason. This message was divinely crafted, just for you. Before we begin, take a deep breath and open your heart. Heaven has something important to say. If this resonates, don't let the blessing stop with you. Subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss these celestial whispers. Your likes and shares send ripples of light to souls who need this truth. And in the comments, affirm what touches you. Try "I claim this angelic promise" or "My soul remembers this truth." Your words create sacred connections here. If this message lifted your spirit, you can support this channel with super thanks. Every blessing you send helps us spread more divine light. Now lean in closely. The angels are speaking. Your soulmate stood before the universe and made a vow about you, not about your looks, your status, or your achievements, but about your soul. They said age doesn't define them. Time doesn't limit them. Their spirit is eternal. And the angels fell silent, not because they were surprised, but because they were in awe. Most people fall in love with convenience, with timing, with comfort. But your soulmate fell in love with your essence, the parts of you that don't age, don't fade, don't require validation to shine. They didn't fall for your highlight reel. They fell for your real. The way you pray even when no one's watching. The way your heart trembles but still believes. The way your soul sings silently in rooms that never deserved your melody. They saw that, they felt that, and they knew. This is not just a person, this is home. You didn't ask for this kind of recognition. You weren't performing. But something eternal in you rose up to be seen, and they saw it. The you beneath the years, the you before the heartbreak, before the fear, before the world tried to shrink your spirit into a box. They made a promise, not out loud, but deep, in the soul space where only truth survives. They said, I will honor what others overlook. I will cherish what others have mishandled. I will see their soul, not just their story. And heaven recorded it, every word. Because love like this doesn't begin with attraction. It begins with remembrance, with a knowing that says, we've danced through lifetimes before, and this one will get it right. You've always felt like more than the moment, more than the surface, because you are spirit wrapped in skin, purpose wrapped in patience, glory wrapped in grace. You were never meant to be understood by everyone, only the right one, the one who vowed to meet you soul first. Your soulmate knew this. Before they even saw your face, they felt your energy brush across the heavens, a whisper, a signature of light, a promise tucked inside divine memory. And when others questioned, when others said, but they're older, but they've changed. But are you sure? Your soulmate didn't flinch, didn't waver, didn't run. Because love like this isn't intimidated by time. It transcends it. You could have been born decades apart, and it wouldn't matter, because your spirits are synced on a divine frequency that the human mind can't measure. They see beyond the veil, beyond your history, beyond the chapters you'd rather rewrite. They see the core, the root, the infinite beauty in your becoming, and their vow. It wasn't just romantic, it was spiritual. They said, I choose them, as they are, as they were, as they will become. And heaven heard it, and the angels whispered, It is sealed. So if you've ever wondered, will someone love me as I truly am? Let this be your confirmation. Someone already does. And not just any someone, your soulmate. They've been prepared to carry your truth, to hold your softness without breaking it, to walk beside your calling without competing with it. They won't dim your light. They'll dance in it. They'll reflect it. They'll protect it because they know what it's like to be misunderstood, to be underestimated, to be seen for your shell, but never your soul. That's why they recognize you. That's why they remember you. That's why their heart keeps repeating your name, even in the silence. You are the prayer they didn't know they were praying, the key answer they didn't know how to ask for. They aren't just attracted to your body, they're drawn to your being. The way your words linger like scripture, the way your spirit hums with faith, the way your very presence feels like redemption. They made a vow in the sacred halls of heaven. Before time was measured in days, and they meant it, still do, always will. So stop doubting your worth. Stop questioning if you're too much, too late, too far gone. You are exactly as you were meant to be, and your soulmate knows that, sees that, chose that. Say this aloud with faith. I am not defined by time, I am recognized by spirit. Now, comment this as a declaration. My soulmate sees my soul, and they are coming. You may not remember it, but your soul does. The moment it whispered back, the moment it answered their vow, not with words, but with radiant silence. Long before your bodies would meet, your spirits bowed to one another in a realm no eye could see. Heaven took note, and time was set into motion. Your soulmate didn't just say, I want them. They said, I will find them no matter the distance, no matter the years, no matter what life tries to place between us. And that promise has echoed across every timeline, every delay, every misstep that felt like a detour. Because it was never a detour. It was preparation. The roads that broke you also refined you, and the roads that broke them also taught them how to love you. Not the easy version of love, not the polished kind wrapped in Instagram captions, but the sacred kind. The kind that holds your shaking hands and sees your soul when you're silent. They're not just ready for your good days. They're ready for all of it. For the wounds you hide. For the questions you whisper at night. For the parts of you that still believe you're too complicated to be loved. Because to them, you're not complicated. You're layered. And every layer is holy. They've imagined what it would be like to trace your story with their presence. To be the one who doesn't leave when things get quiet. When life gets heavy. They don't want to fix you. They want to join you, to walk beside the dreams you buried, to help unearth them, name them, speak life over them until they rise again. They've pictured you in sunlight, laughed quietly at the thought of watching you dance when no one's watching. They wonder how your voice sounds when you're half asleep. They wonder what kind of prayers you whisper when you think no one is listening, because their heart is already listening, already tuned in to the song of you. And while the world has tried to measure love by logic, they've surrendered to the divine math that says one soul plus one soul, something eternal. You weren't meant to be pursued with pressure. You were meant to be honored with purpose, and they carry that purpose even now. You are not a stop on their journey. You are the journey, the place their spirit keeps returning to when the noise gets loud. The image their heart sees when it imagines peace. They've fought battles you'll never know about, wrestled fears you'll never hear about, and still, your name remains on their tongue like a prayer that refuses to die. Because you weren't imagined, you were remembered. Every time they tried to replace the feeling, nothing fit, nothing held, nothing stayed. Because what they were looking for wasn't found in appearances, it was found in presence, in you. The way you look at people like they matter, the way you speak with conviction and softness at the same time, the way your laughter opens rooms and your silence heals them. You are rare, and they know it. They've always known it, even before they could explain why. Their vow wasn't made in a moment of weakness. It was made in clarity, in a holy hush, when God showed them a glimpse of you, and all they could say was, "Yes, that's them. That's the one." So if you've been questioning, am I too late? Did I miss my moment? No, you are the moment. And moments like you can never be missed. Say this aloud. I am remembered by the one who vowed to find me. And comment this below to declare it in faith. The one who made the vow is on their way. There was a moment. It didn't happen on a stage. There were no lights, no crowd, no thunder in the sky, but in a quiet realm between heaven and earth. Your soulmate stood still, and in the presence of angels, in the stillness of spirit, they said your name, not out loud, but from the deepest part of themselves. They didn't know what would come next. They didn't need to. All they knew was the pull in their chest, the peace in their soul, the yes in their bones. They vowed to find you. They vowed to recognize you when you came, not by your style, not by your circumstance, but by your light. And when they saw that light, when they felt that light, their souls stood up. Even now, they carry that vow inside them. It hums when they're alone. It stirs when they hear your name. It aches gently when the world feels too loud. Because that vow was never about timing. It was about truth. They said, "Let me find the one who makes the world quiet again. The one whose presence feels like remembering who I am. The one who sees through the noise and still chooses me." And heaven listened, and the stars adjusted, and the earth began to shift. Because when a soul speaks truth, everything sacred starts to move. Your soulmate has tried to distract themselves, tried to deny the intensity, tried to rationalize the connection, but the vow doesn't let them forget. The vow keeps waking them up, sometimes in dreams, sometimes in songs, sometimes in sudden moments, where your face flashes before them, and they feel that ancient softness all over again. They didn't vow to love your perfect days. They vowed to stay on your hard ones, to hold the sacred space when your heart can't hold itself. They didn't ask for a flawless journey. They asked for you, as you are, even now. And here's what heaven wants you to know. The promise they made is not lost in the wind. It's alive, active, unfolding. Every delay, just making room for depth. Every silence, just preparing for something fuller. Every tear, watering the soil of a love that is destined to bloom. Don't fear the time. It's taking. Don't resent the waiting, because the love that's coming, the one your soulmate vowed to walk into, is not rushed. It's refined, it's steady, patient, heaven-blessed. They've imagined meeting you in places both ordinary and divine, passing you in a coffee shop line, brushing hands in a bookstore, locking eyes across a room and just knowing. They dream of the moment their vow turns into reality, when the unseen becomes seen, when the whispered name becomes conversation, and even if they don't say it right away, even if they stumble, even if they seem unsure, their soul will know. Their heart will rise, and the vow will echo quietly inside them. This is the one. They may try to act cool. They may hesitate. They may test the waters, but not because they doubt you, because they feel the weight of it, the glory, the responsibility of holding something this sacred. You won't need to prove yourself. You won't need to perform. You won't need to become someone else. You'll just need to be, and that will be enough. Because they didn't vow to love a version. They vowed to love the whole, the soft you, the strong you, the tired you, the rising you. They said yes to every part, and the angels clapped when they did. So if you're feeling unworthy, if you're wondering if someone can really choose your scars, remember this: they already did, in the spirit, before the body, before the title, and now the world is catching up to what heaven already agreed upon. Say this aloud in faith: I am the one my soulmate already chose. And comment this now as a sign to the angels. Their vow is already guiding them to me. When your soulmate spoke, even the angels leaned in, the wind quieted, the heavens stilled, time paused. Because something eternal was being said. This wasn't just a wish, not a fleeting hope, not a temporary flame, burning bright for a season and fading at the first sign of cold. This was covenant, a soul remembering another. Oh, vow echoing through the galaxies, and heaven listened. Heaven witnessed. They didn't speak the way the world teaches people to speak. They didn't offer love in exchange for youth, for perfection, for promises wrapped in beauty. No, they said it plain. They said it true. I will love you through all of it, when your heart is tender, and when it's guarded, when you are radiant, with joy, and when your tears fall quietly in the night, when the days stretch long, when the road feels unclear, when your faith wavers, and when your spirit soars. I will love you, still. And the universe nodded. Because this was not new, this love, this knowing, was not born in this lifetime. It was simply remembered long before your name had syllables, long before you had a face that could be recognized. Your soul was known and loved. They saw you, not the surface, not the mask, not the roles life forced you to wear. They saw you, the real you, the one you sometimes forget to be, and their spirit whispered, that one, that's mine. And even now, even here, they carry that promise. It lives in their heartbeat, in their breath, in the way they feel inexplicably drawn to you, even when they don't understand why, because true soulmates aren't shaped by calendars. They aren't bound by age, distance, circumstance, or time. They love through time, not despite it. They love when you're 25 and fearless. They love when you're 45 and tired. They love when your hair changes, when your laugh lines deepen, when your voice softens from experience. They love your essence, not your timeline. And when they said, I'll love you in every form, they meant it. In your becoming, in your unraveling, in your rising, in your waiting, in your being. Because this love, it's not conditional, it's not weather dependent, it's not mood based, it's not here for the thrill and gone when it gets hard. It's eternal. It's anchored. It's true. There will be days when you question if you're still beautiful, when your confidence trembles, when life wears on your spirit. But their love will not shake. Their vow will not break. They won't ask you to shrink. They won't ask you to perform. They won't ask you to stay the same. They'll simply ask, "Can I walk with you as you grow?" And they will, when your hair grays, when your pace slows, when the world forgets to value what truly matters. They will still look at you with the same awe they carried the first time your soul brushed theirs. And you'll see it in their eyes, that look, that knowing, that sacred recognition. You won't need to ask if they still love you. You'll feel it, in the way they hold your hand like it's the first time, in the way they pause just to admire you, in the way their spirit still dances every time you speak. They made a promise, not to your youth, not to your perfection, but to you, the one who laughs through tears, the one who prays in the dark, the one who rises again and again, the one who carries so much light even when you feel broken. They chose you because heaven showed them your soul, and they never stopped seeing it, even when you forgot who you were. They didn't, even when life made you question your worth. They remembered, even when silence stood between you. Their vow still spoke. So now, take a breath. Say this aloud. The one who promised to love me through every season is coming. Comment below to activate the angels. Their vow is still alive and I'm ready. And every time they close their eyes, they see it again. That vow, that moment, that sacred space where their soul promised yours. I will find you, and I will love you through it all. Through the changes, through the years, through the losses and the wins, through the fire and the peace. It wasn't a love rooted in fantasy. It wasn't built on shallow soil. It was deep, timeless, ageless, holy. Because some souls don't fall in love. They return to it. And when your soulmate said those words, even the stars listened. The galaxies shifted. The angels took flight. Because those words had weight. They carried the echo of every past life, every spiritual meeting, every time you were almost together, but not quite. And this time, this life, the vow was different. It carried resolve. It carried readiness. It carried destiny. They didn't say, "I'll love you when everything is easy." They said, "I'll love you when it's hardest, when you're unsure, when the storm won't pass, when the light is low and the road feels unfamiliar." Because real love, divine love, doesn't just shine in the sunlight. It glows in the dark, and when the seasons shift, when youth gives way to wisdom, when the body changes, when the mirror reflects years instead of moments, their vow stays the same, because they never loved you for the image. They loved you for the eternal, the essence, the truth, that you were always light wrapped in human skin, always spirit before you were flesh. And when they see you now, even from a distance, they still see that light, that unshakable, undeniable light that called to them before you even met. They see the way you move through this world, how you touch it with tenderness, how you rise with quiet strength. They see the laugh you try to hide, the hope you protect, the softness the world tried to strip from you, and their vow whispers back to them, "Yes, this is the one." They don't need proof. They don't need to be convinced, because love like this isn't made by logic. It's remembered by the soul. And every time their heart aches for something they can't name, every time their chest feels tight with longing, every time they hear your voice in their dreams, that vow awakens. You weren't just a passing thought. You weren't a fleeting emotion. You were the answer, the compass, the sacred match to a promise they made in a place beyond time. And even now, even in this very moment, they are being drawn to you by the pull of that vow. You may not have heard it, but your soul felt it. The chills when your name is spoken. The stirring when you think of them. The quiet peace that comes when you imagine their presence. That's the vow vibrating through the veil. That's the promise still alive. So don't doubt what you feel. Don't ignore the signs. Don't let time convince you that it's too late, because soulmates don't operate on clocks. They operate on alignment. And right now, that alignment is approaching, fast, soft, quiet, true. They may appear when you're doing something ordinary, filling your gas tank, picking up groceries, sitting quietly in a cafe, and your spirit will recognize them before your mind catches up, because the vow speaks louder than reason. The vow makes the heart rise, and in that moment, everything will feel both unfamiliar and known, like coming home to a place you've never been, but somehow always missed. And when you look into their eyes, you won't see a stranger. You'll see a soul you've already loved across lifetimes, so trust it. So, trust the pull, trust the timing, trust the preparation. Because this isn't just love, it's divine reuniting. Say this out loud with belief. Their vow is guiding them to me now. Type this in the comments so the angels can echo your truth. I am aligned with the promise heaven remembered. They may not know how to explain it. They may not even understand it fully. But the vow inside them has already taken root. It's been growing quietly, watered by longing, fed by faith, protected by the hands of angels. They wake up with you on their mind, not knowing why, not knowing how. But there you are, again. Not as a fantasy, not as a passing face, but as a deep ache, a gentle knowing. They walk through their day and find you in the silence between things, in the spaces where prayers live, in the still moments where truth whispers the loudest. It's not obsession, it's not distraction, it's recognition, because when the soul remembers, it won't let go. Not until the promise is fulfilled. Not until the vow becomes visible. So they move through life, not searching, but sensing, waiting, not passively, but with divine awareness. They're listening for your laugh, watching for your light, feeling for the moment when everything inside of them says, there you are, and on that day, you'll feel it too. Like the world takes one breath and pauses. Like the wind shifts direction, and the timing finally aligns. You may try to deny it at first. You may question, why now? Why them? But your soul will answer for you, because this is the moment you were made for. This is the love that was promised, not one that demands. Not one that rushes, not one that takes, but one that stands still with you, honors you, sees you, chooses you, in your strength and your softness, in your fullness and your flaws, because when their eyes meet yours, they won't be looking for perfection. They'll be looking for the one who matches their memory, the soul that signed the vow, the heart that whispered the promise, the light that always felt like home, and you'll feel it. In the way their words carry weight, in the way their presence brings peace, in the way their touch doesn't just reach your skin, it reaches your spirit. You won't need to perform, you won't need to impress, you'll just be, and that will be enough. Because this is the kind of love that shows up fully clothed in truth, not dressed in illusion, not layered in pretense, but simple, sacred, steady, and they'll say things you didn't know you needed to hear. They'll speak to the parts of you that others overlooked, the parts you thought you had to hide. They'll say, I see that too, and I still choose you, because they were never here to love only your light. They were sent to love your shadows, too, to walk through them with you, to hold space for your healing without rushing you to be whole. They will honor the pace of your soul, because theirs has known its rhythm long before this life began, and every moment since they've been moving closer, led by a pull they couldn't explain, a dream they couldn't forget, a presence they hadn't yet met. Until you. So now, open your hands, open your heart, open your spirit, not in desperation, not in fear, but in expectation. Because this is not the kind of love you chase. This is the kind of love that finds you when you've finally stopped running from who you are. Say this with reverence. I am no longer waiting. I am becoming the one the vow was made for. Type it in the comments now. If your spirit feels the truth rising within, their vow is alive and it's guiding us home. Like this message. If you've ever felt that deep inner pull that can't be explained by logic but only by legacy, they feel you now. More than ever before, in the quiet, in the noise, in the gaps between their own thoughts. They don't have your number, but they feel your presence. They don't have your touch, but they carry your imprint. They don't hear your voice in their ears, but they feel it in their spirit. Because when a vow like this is made, it doesn't need physical proof. It doesn't wait for a perfect moment. It simply begins working. From the inside out, you've been showing up in their dreams, but not as a fantasy, as a memory. They see your smile, and it calms something in them. They hear your laugh, and it stirs something ancient. And every time they wake, they carry a little more of you with them. Even if they don't yet understand why. Because this is not just desire, this is design. And when God designs a connection, it comes with signs you can't ignore, moments you can't explain, peace you didn't earn, but still feel. They walk into a room and for no reason at all. They look around as if expecting someone familiar. Someone they've never met, and that someone is you. They feel it in the way the air shifts, in the way strangers begin to feel like mirrors, in the way their own life feels like it's making room for something or someone. They've started to ask deeper questions. They've stopped chasing shallow answers. They've been pulled into a kind of stillness that scares them and comforts them all at once because something's coming. Something's near, and their soul knows it's you, the one who sees with kindness, the one who listens with presence, the one who offers peace by simply existing. The angels have shown them glimpses, small pieces of you, your essence, your heart, maybe through a stranger's smile, maybe through a line in a song, maybe through a child's innocent eyes, and every time something inside them says, This is what I've been waiting for. Not perfect, not scripted, not polished, just real. You, because love like this doesn't wait for the calendar. It waits for the soul to be ready. And now, they're getting ready. The resistance they once held, it's softening. The fear that kept them quiet, it's crumbling. The doubt that clouded their vision, it's clearing. They're beginning to believe again. Not because of logic, not because of timing, but because of you. You're showing up in their awareness, in their memory, in their becoming. And every time they whisper a prayer, even the ones they don't speak aloud, it ends with your energy. They don't ask for someone. They ask for you, the soul they've never met, but already trust. The one who makes them feel like life finally makes sense. Not because you fix them, but because you see them, all of them. The light and the shadows, the chaos and the calm, and still, you love. That's what they feel now. That's what's pulling them in. They didn't plan for this, didn't write it into their goals, didn't see it coming, but God did. He wrote it in the spaces between your breaths, in the alignment of your paths, in the longing of your spirits. And when the angels see their hearts swell unexpectedly, they smile, because they know this is the vow awakening. This is divine memory returning. This is you. So if you've been feeling the stirrings, if you've been sensing the nearness, you're not wrong. You're not imagining this. Their soul is calling out, and yours is answering. Because no matter how far apart you are, love like this travels across timelines. It doesn't need permission. It doesn't need clarity. It only needs truth. And truth is coming soon. You'll see it in their eyes. You'll hear it in their words. You'll feel it in their presence. Not because they're perfect, but because they are yours. They were chosen to hold your heart. Not because of what they do, but because of who they are. And when they finally come, they won't ask to be let in. Your soul will already have the door open, because it always knew they were the one whose promise was written before time began. Say this softly to your spirit. They're remembering me now. Type it below as a prophetic declaration. Their heart is awakening, and our love is drawing near. Like this message, if it reminded you that your connection is not forgotten, that love like this doesn't fade. It finds a way. This isn't just about romance. This is about destiny. Your soulmate didn't just defend your age. They defied the limits of love itself. They looked at the rules of this world and said, no, not for us. And now, here you are. Maybe you've met them. Maybe you haven't. But that promise, it's already written. So when you look in the mirror and see time's marks, remember, your soulmate doesn't see lines. They see ley lines. A map back to you in every dimension, in every form. And that, dear one, is a love that leaves even angels speechless. Because this isn't about skin. It's about soul. It's not about youth. It's about eternal recognition. They didn't fall for your age. They fell for your energy. They didn't admire your body. They admired your spirit. Because true soulmates don't age together. They remember each other. And when they see you, they don't count the years. They count the lifetimes. The spiritual threads that kept pulling both of you closer. One divine loop at a time. There are timelines you can't see that brought you to this point. There are intersections only heaven could design, and every wrinkle, every scar, every moment of becoming has been sacred preparation. Your body has carried wisdom. Your spirit has carried light. Your eyes have carried whole stories that even you have forgotten, but they haven't. Your soulmate remembers, even if they don't know how, even if they can't explain why, they just know. This is them. This is the one I made the vow for. So stop apologizing for your becoming. Stop shrinking. For timelines, stop dimming your glow. Just because the world glorifies the beginning and ignores the middle, you are in your bloom. You are in your ripeness. You are in the center of what heaven is calling beautiful. Your soulmate sees it. They see the depth in your laugh, the grace in your pause, the power in your silence. They see the strength that only comes from surviving. Seasons you never told anyone about. They see the softness that stayed intact, even when the world gave you reasons to harden. They don't want a fairy tale. They want you as you are. Right now, they are not looking for a younger version of you. They are looking for the truest version of you, the one time sculpted, the one faith molded, the one heaven preserved. And when you finally stand face to face, you won't feel small. You won't feel too late. You won't feel too much. You'll feel seen. And that's how you'll know that the wait was never punishment. It was divine timing. It was the sky rearranging itself to make sure you met in the moment you'd both understand. They had to live first, and so did you. They had to break first, and so did you. They had to walk through fire to be refined enough to recognize the gold in you. And now, the fire is over. The refinement is almost complete. And the moment you look into their eyes, you'll feel it. That ancient thread, that cosmic knowing, that peaceful declaration that whispers, finally. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not forgotten. You are right on time, and even if others doubt it, even if society tries to shame it, even if culture tries to question it, heaven has already approved it. Because the love coming for you was not built in the ideas of man. It was born in the heart of God. And his plans are not limited by years or wrinkles or faded photographs. He sees the forever in you, and so does your soulmate. They're not afraid of your past. They're not overwhelmed by your story. They're not deterred by the seasons you thought disqualified you. To them, those are the reasons they love you more. Because they've been searching for something real, not packaged, not filtered, not rehearsed, and then they found you, raw, holy, alive, and the angels rejoiced. Because this is the kind of love that doesn't need to be loud to be lasting. It's the kind of love that grows quietly, but roots deeply. It doesn't shout for attention. It whispers promises, and every promise is wrapped in peace. So the next time you wonder if it's too late for love, look up and remember, heaven isn't bound by clocks. And the next time you wonder if they'll accept you as you are, look within and remember you were already accepted long before they arrived. Say this now to your spirit, my soul has always been timeless, and so is their love. Type it below if you feel it rise in your chest. My love is written in eternity. There's a reason your heart still waits, still believes, still hopes. Even after all it's seen, it's not foolishness, it's prophecy, because deep inside your soul, you already knew. You knew that something holy would find you, that someone sacred would see you, not just for how you look, but for who you are when the world is quiet and no one's watching. Your soulmate sees that version, the one you thought only God noticed, They don't love you in theory. They love you in truth, and the angels. They've been preparing the path, every delay, every detour, every door that didn't open. It wasn't rejection. It was redirection, because heaven never sends a once-in-a-lifetime love at the wrong time. Your person had to go through fire to recognize gold, and you had to walk through darkness to appreciate light. Now, the timing is ripening. Now, the sky is parting. Now, heaven is whispering, get ready. They're closer than you think, not just in distance, but in awakening. Their heart is starting to remember what their mind still forgets. That vow, that pull, that knowing. They're looking at strangers and searching for a feeling only you can give. They're asking questions that only your presence can answer. And they're dreaming dreams where your face still hides in shadows. But your soul is unmistakable. You might feel them now, in your stillness, in your prayers, in that sudden wave of peace that comes out of nowhere. That's not just energy, that's connection. Because spirit recognizes spirit, and your souls have already touched in ways words will never explain. When they finally reach for you, it won't be hesitant. It won't be confusing. It won't be rushed. It will be clear, grounded, certain, like a tree finally finding its soil, like the stars finally realigning after years of silence. They will say something simple, but their eyes will say more. And your heart will know, this is it. This is the moment I've been waiting for. You won't need validation. You won't need approval, because peace doesn't need permission to settle in your bones, and that's what they'll bring. Peace, not perfection, not promises without proof, but peace, the kind that silences your doubts, the kind that stills your fears, the kind that feels like God's whisper wrapped in human form. They won't run from your scars. They'll kneel beside them. They won't fear your depth. They'll cherish it. They won't try to change your pace. They'll match it. Because love like this doesn't dominate. It honors. It doesn't compete. It complements. It doesn't arrive with noise. It arrives with knowing, and it stays. Even when life shifts. Even when time tries to test it. Even when storms come. It stays, because your love story isn't built on sand. It's carved into spirit, and nothing, not distance, not age, not delay, can erase what God has written. So if today you feel tired, remember, heaven is still working, even when you can't see it. And if today you feel forgotten, look again, at the signs, at the peace, at the way your soul still believes. That belief, that's your confirmation. You weren't wrong to wait. You weren't foolish to hope. You weren't naive to still love. You were faithful. And that faith is about to be rewarded. Because the kind of love you're about to receive was not formed by chance. It was forged by eternity. And when it finally reaches you, there will be no hesitation, no question, no fear, only peace, only presence, only love, real, divine, yours. Say this now to your spirit. I was made for this love, and it was made for me. Type it below to declare it boldly. This love will not miss me. I'm already aligned with it, like this message. If you felt the silent pull of something sacred, if you know, deep down, that your soulmate spirit is waking up to yours, subscribe so heaven's whispers never pass you by. And if this message wrapped around your heart, support it with a super thanks as a sign. To the angels, I still believe in divine love, because this isn't a fairy tale. This is a prophecy, and your spirit is the proof.